These are 10 tips to help you go from bronze to Apex Predator in Apex. So, tip number 1. I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but I'm going to repeat it. It's going to be the firing range. The more time you spend in the firing range refining your skills, your aim, and your overall gunfights, it's just going to help you improve in the actual battle royale. So what I would do is I would go into the firing range, right? Pick out my guns, which would be the R301 and the R99, right? And pick some attachments that you would normally find in your match. So I wouldn't just fully kit out my R301 and my R99 to get no recoil. As you can see, I'm not one clipping. This is me fresh into the firing range. I'm doing some cover, I'll stim, I'll ADS, feel it out until I actually go into a real battle royale match. Just as an added bonus to add on to tip number 1, you can just use the firing range for movement. I'm here just practicing my wall bounces, but you can do any movement tech you want. There's specific points on the map for super gliding, so yeah. Tip number 2, just finding your legend. I normally main Octane because I like more fast-paced games, but if you want to kind of sit back, help your team out, you can be a recon legend or support legend. I don't really mess with these legends, they're just not my type. But yeah, if you really want to be a support legend, I would recommend Newcastle, Loba, and Mirage. Tip number 3, and the easiest tip of all, is just watching pros. Any pro you can see. Me personally, when I started Apex, I would most of the time just watch It's Timmy or Imperial How, but I'm kind of moved on to It's Watson and certain other streamers / content creators. So yeah, my opinion would just be watch some streamers. Tip number 4, and the tip that I think is the most important, is recognizing what type of day you're having. If you start off your day by losing a game and you keep repeating that cycle, you're going to get tilted and you're really not going to progress. So my tip would be, if you start off your day right and you're just not doing as good as you normally do and it keeps repeating itself, just hop off. You're going to have a bad taste in your mouth the next time you want to play Apex, and you're just kind of going to cycle back into it. So yeah. Tip number 5 is a little bit more based on if you play ranked or not, is finding a team to play with. Solo queuing in Apex, whether it be pubs or ranked, sucks. Randoms do not know what they're doing half of the time, and it will make you mad. And going back to tip number 4, it will tilt you, and it'll make you want to get off faster. Picking your drop seems easy enough, but you don't understand how many times I've gone into a pubs match and whoever's jump master just relinquishes it. Just trust me, at least for me, let's just say for example it's Olympus, I will always drop estates. Doesn't matter where the path of the bus is going, always estates, because it's hot drop and it has decent loot. Tip number 7, if you're trying to take the game competitively, it's just consistency. It's not that hard. Just logging in for even 45 minutes a day, playing your 2 matches and getting off will help you compared to somebody that plays one day, then doesn't touch the game for 2 days, then gets back on. Trust me, consistency is the easiest thing you can do. Tip number 8, look at the players remaining compared to the team remaining. If you can pick off a solo in the last, let's say, top 5 squads and get his loot and share with your teammates, it could make or break your game. Tip number 9, positioning. A team on high ground compared to a team on low ground has a way higher odds of beating the team on low ground than if they were on height. It might seem simple, but the amount of times that I've lost ranked games because I didn't see one of their teammates on top of me is uncountable. Okay, so please, if you are in a ranked game and you see that there's nobody on top of a building and you can get a clear shot off on your enemies, just take it. Okay, you might get shot at a couple times, but just heal up. Tip number 10 is just finding the meta. We're in season 20. Every season the meta changes, or possibly even during the season. Finding what team comps to play along with what guns do the fastest time to kill or carry the most ammo is key to performing better than your opponents. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I tried condensing it into the least amount of time possible. I believe this video is going to be about 6 minutes long. I just don't want to take up much of your time. These are super simple tips that will go a long way if you actually follow all 10 of them. This is more of a method instead of tips and tricks, because if you don't do one of these, you can't really succeed. Sure, if you soak up about like 80% of these, you might be doing better, but I again would recommend just following all 10 tips. They're not really that hard to do. I do them every day before and during stream, so if you guys are trying to see how I play, it's Graves_09 on Twitch and across all platforms. Thank you for watching.